so I got something to say.
Yes, sir. It's the We Good podcast, and you already know it's your boy Wise Guy Q in the building, the mouth for the South.
And it's your boy MD Uno, Mr. Free Game, coming with a bunch of free game. And we got a special guest in the building today.
Boss, a champ. You already know, a legend. We had to bring him to you, man, and we so glad that he made it down, man. We got Pimpin Ken in the building with us.
Pimpin Ken, what it do, family?
Hey, man, it do what it do, man. You know, ain't nothing up but price of gas and ass. You do.
We also got DJ Vital with us. He's part of the Hip-Hop Fraternity.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Vital.
They're going to break
DJ
it.
DJ Vital. You know, I'm the video director of Hip-Hop Fraternity.
For sure. And we're going to have them break down what the Hip-Hop Fraternity all about and all that. We also going to chop it up with Pimpin Ken about his story, man, a little bit, and the things that he got going on, his books and all of that. So we're going to dive right into that in just a few. But first, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. I know we ain't seen y'all since last year.
Happy New Year.
You know what I mean? 2022, new beginnings. You know what I mean? New money, like my man Pimpin Ken said.
Exactly.
You know, hope everybody had a real safe and happy New Year. Hope y'all had a very good holiday all back from the 2021. But we're leaving that behind and we're finna get on to some new. You already know. So, let's hop right into this with Pimpin Ken, man. Let's start off by just giving the people, I guess, a little background history on Pimpin Ken, a little bit of your story, man, before we get into anything else.
Yeah, man, I was born in Chicago, Illinois. You know, I kind of got a little trouble when I was 14, called attempted murder. You know, they put me in the Cook County jail, man, with a bunch of, you know, vice lords and gangsters and Latin kings, you know, and I wasn't affiliated. You know, me and my brother was in there, but like I said, my dad is a player, so, you know, we had a lot of game, you know, so we was able to chop up game with the OGs, you know. They was like, man, these niggas are smooth, you know what I mean? We fuck with them. So that got us through that little shit. We did 3 months, you know, beat the case. Then, you know, my mama, you know, who's staying at 4759 South Federal, that's the Robert Taylor Projects, West Projects in Chicago, outside of Cabrini Green. So we eventually moved to Milwaukee, you know, and I got with some niggas that was hustling and called a Fed case, you know, for a check cash. I tried to cash check that one in my name, which was some dumb ass shit, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, by the time I was 16, the same nigga that I was hustling with, he started pimping and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he gave me one of his bitches, you know, I came over, he had 3 bitches there. I said,
He gave you one?
I said, man, let me get one of them bitches. He rented me a bitch.
I'll rent a bitch.
So the bitch name was Dirty Red, you know, I talk about it in my book, Pimpology, the $40 Game. So I mashed on her like an Idaho potato, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, she dropped it out the cock and I picked it up like it was not, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, that led me to, you know, still hustling. So I was still robbing banks and, you know, snatching jewelry and shit, you know what I mean? I couldn't shake the hustle, you know, I still, you know, was still in the game. So, but the bitch was, you know, she was sucking into my pocket like a rocket, you know what I'm saying? And I liked it that, you know what I'm saying? But I never got a chance to get into the full course. And a nigga named Star Child, one of my partners, he used to ride me around, tell me, man, hey man, always, you know what I'm saying, me, ask the bitch where she came from, who was her mama, who was her auntie, how many niggas she been with, you know what I'm saying, she ever left, you know, he was telling me, you know, that pimping was instruction, so he gave me a lot of game, you know, and then I ended up knocking him for his people, you dig what I'm saying? That's Angela. Yes, she's also Hip-Hop Fraternity.
How you doing?
Y'all want me to come around on that side?
Yeah, you can come and stand right here if you can, walk around.
I think DG might have another chair out there.
I'll probably squeeze behind him.
I'm sorry, people, y'all.
nah, you
that's
good.
what happened at the HHF. It's so many of us.
You gonna come this way?
You good. You staying right there.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm skinny. Hey, y'all.
You got another chair, DG? Yeah, for sure. You got it? Almost there. It's gonna be all right for you.
Yes, thank you.
And who do we have in the building? What's your name?
I'm Hollywood Angel.
Hollywood Angel.
Yes,
Part
I'm
of
one
the
of the board members of Hip-Hop Fraternity as well as the editorial manager, and I do apologize for my tardiness.
Oh, it's all good.
No
We
problem,
appreciate you
no
being
problem.
here.
Most definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay. So we definitely got the Hip-Hop Fraternity in the building.
Yes, yes.
And we got Pimpin Ken just schooling us.
Yeah,
You know,
so, back to what I was saying. So, you know, I ended up, you know, going back and forth to prison. I mean, to the reformatory school. So when I get 18, I end up going to the main penitentiary, which is Green Bay Reformatory. And I met one of my pimp partners named Pimpin Poke up in there. So Pimpin Poke, you know, he was one of our biggest pimps, but he had shot one of the other pimps named Pimpin Sam. So I said, nigga, if you a pimp, why you here with me? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I was a little young, high-headed nigga, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I kind of grew up in and out that shit, right? So he was like, man, what happened? The nigga jumped on my car and I shot him up off the car. I said, but what happened? He said, I had this bitch named Juanita, and Juanita chose up on Pope, right? Up on Sam. And then Sam, you know, when he got the bitch used to, you know, his stomach growl, she'd feed him before his stomach get through growing. You know, if he used the bathroom, she got toilet paper ready to wipe his ass.
On point.
If he got a cigarette, the bitch fumbling 3 times to light a cigarette, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what Pope was teaching me. He said, that's instructions. He said, that's what a pimp do. He give a bitch instructions. You know, he make sure that the bitch, you know what I'm saying, you know, she's always in pocket.
For sure.
You know, he said, but that nigga Sam didn't know what the fuck was going on. He thought the bitch was in love. And he thought all that was love, but that really, you know, what a bitch supposed to do. She's supposed to serve as a pimp. You know what I mean? And I didn't even know that. So I'm looking at nigga like, really? That's true? A woman's supposed to do all that? You know, so, and he said, there's no difference between an in-pocket and an out-of-pocket bitch. So not knowing that piece of game that he gave
It's
me.
no different.
Made me
No
the
different.
#1 pimp in the country. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it made me real, you know, real harsh in the game, you know, because a lot of, you know, time, you know, bitches, they challenge you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go back to Adam and Eve, right?
Right.
The first story in Adam and Eve is that, you know, the fall of man. You know,
Right.
Eve deceived Adam. You know what I'm saying? He said, the woman that you gave me deceived me. That's how the Bible starts out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a woman is a little bit faster than men. You know, women like to challenge men. You know what I mean? They like, you know, women like a strong man. You know what I'm saying? They like men that give them a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you're a weak dude and you ain't got no game or no intelligence, she gonna run all over you.
Right.
You know, and that's what hoes do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hoes challenge, you know, men. That's why when they used to come in my house, I said, watch the trick up off you. Cause you know, you in pimp dome now. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So you got to say that because that's just how the game was. And so he would teach me to not to have sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't fall in love if you're gonna be in this game. This ain't a game of love.
Straight
You
up.
know, in this game, love is like fucking shit. 4-letter word, so fuck that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
how I was taught. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's how I became so legendary and so strong in the game. So when I did get in the game, I went to the doctor, had a triple bypass, and remove all the sympathy out of my heart.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I had no sympathy, you know what I mean? And that's how I was able to win. That's how I got the bags. That's how I was able to go platinum my pussy. That's how I was able to get millions and millions of dollars out the game because of what he taught me in that cell, you know, in that prison cell. Now, you know, moving forward and fast, you know, I end up becoming Pimp of the Year. If you look at Pimps Up, Hoes Down, all those players' balls, those are my players' balls. Niggas would come and see me from all over the country.
All
you know
over.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
So you was throwing those players' balls.
Yeah, I was all that shit on
Okay.
HHF. Excuse me, not HHF, on HBO. That's my shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Those are all my parties. The one in American Pimp, all that's my shit.
Okay.
You know, niggas came from all over the world to fuck with me. I was the official Pimp of the Year.
That's
Don
what's
Juan
up.
and
Worldwide.
everybody.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
of them. Don Juan, all of them came.
Bishop
to see me.
Don.
They all at my party. Those my parties. So
Yeah.
I was the top nigga in the game for years. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened was when HBO came to town, I had an epiphany. You know what I'm saying? My father and I was sitting down watching, and he said, "Son, what the fuck is you doing?" He said, "Nigga, you crazy?" He said, "You just exposed your hand." So I love my father. My father, my hero. At that point, I decided I was gonna get out the game. So I started my own film company. At the same time that HBO was shooting, they gave me, 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? They gave me credit in the film, which was unheard of. And I
Well, Pimps
also,
Up, Hoes
yeah,
Down.
yeah. If you look at it, say my name, Ken Ivey. I was the consulting for the film.
Okay.
Also, the movie ended with me, which, you know, watching enough movies, I knew to let the shit end with me.
Right.
And then while they was filming, you know, I had a budget. I had my own money. So I was filming my movie Pimpology as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Pimpology became the sequel to Pimp Self Holds Down. And I sold millions and millions of dollars worth of that shit. You know what I mean? So I was just taking the pimping to another level. So I went corporate because I knew that I couldn't pimp and I'm exposing my hand. What bitch gonna believe me if she see when a bitch choose you up? We in the game we say the catching come before the hanging. So a bitch choosing you because she's curious. You know what I'm saying? But if I tell her, hey, I'm Pimpin' Ken and this is what I do and this is how I dress, there ain't no curiosity there. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So curiosity killed the cat. So basically at that point, you know, now I'm a corporate nigga. You understand? I'm out here, you know, making moves. And so I said, well, let me get into the rap game. And so my movie Pimp Out, I said, I'm going to be the intro and outro man for all rappers all over the country. So I come to ATL, hook up with Jermaine Dupri.
Sure.
That led me to Lil Jon. That led me to Too Short. That led me to 50 Cent. That led me to Mac 10. That led me to Loon. That led me to David Banner. Everybody started working
Because you
with
got like over 40 million records sold.
40 million records sold with my name on it.
Platinum plaques.
Right,
You ain't even
right.
an artist.
Yeah, I got more plaques than a lot of
Isn't
artists.
that
So
amazing?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you think about that, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, now I'm getting phone calls from Simon & Schuster. Hey, man, we got $25,000 to do your book. I said, they won't pay for the front end clip on my biz. I said, man, y'all got to come with it. So 3-4 years later, they called me, offered me $250,000. I took it. You know, didn't never write a book in my life. But one thing, when I was in the penitentiary, when I was in the feds, I skipped that part. But when I was in the feds, I did what you call the Sunday school lessons for the Moors. I'm a Moorish American. You know, I'm part of the Moorish Science Temple. So I'm doing the lessons for the Moors. And that gave me my writing skills, unbeknownst, you know, because the steps of a good man are ordered by God or Allah. So you don't know what God is preparing you for.
Right.
So when they offered me the money, I accepted it. So they gave me Karen Hunter. Karen Hunter is the lady who wrote the book for Wendy Williams. She wrote Wendy Williams in this book, Superhead. Remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
So she's the author, co-author. So they gave me her. And then she was like, damn, you could write your ass off. So I'm writing, I'm just doing it. She said, you write like really good. You know what I mean? So she ended up just being like an overseer. And then Simon Schuster, you know, they said, this is a classic. You know, and the book ended up selling millions and millions of copies. And then, you know, of course, you know, they got over me and I had to bust a move back on them. You know what I'm saying?
I heard you say you felt like you got pimped by them.
Yeah, they pimped me, but I pimped them back. So, you know, but I'm trying to stay in sync with the interview. So,
For sure.
so that happened, and then I started buying real estate. You know what I'm saying? I had a grocery store in the hood. You know, niggas say they buy back the hood. I was doing that shit 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought grocery stores and clothing stores. And, you know, I bought all the real estate. My partner, J.D. Father Vine, who gave me my first bitch, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he ended up buying like 10 houses on the block. We was just buying real estate. We didn't know what the hell we was doing. We just knew that we weren't gonna get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew we didn't want to go back to jail. So we was just trying to figure shit out, you know, and that was the logical thing to do. You know, so I became a realtor, you know what I mean? I ended up, you know, being a businessman. And then I ended up owning daycares. I owned some of the most daycares. I was making like $1 million or $2 million a month. I was driving Rolls Royces, Maseratis, and, you know, convertible Benz that lived in the suburbs, you know, big old mansion. And everybody in the hood thought I was still hustling. But I was doing it the legit way, you know what I mean? I was getting money. And, you know, if you ever heard about the daycare business, government, you know, they pay you every month. You know, so you're getting like $40,000, $50,000 checks every month. So it was just shit like that that I was doing that kept me afloat, you know what I mean? Kept me in the game. And I realized that pimping is a state of mind. In every situation, is pimping a hoe. So I just started pimping every situation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the book gang, you know, that got me $250,000. You know, that's a lot of money for an African American. And believe it or not, that $250,000 is really how I got my daycare business on the level where was able to buy 2 big ones.
Right.
You know, so I took that money, flipped that, and invested that into daycare. And lo and behold, you know, niggas started getting into it. And I was teaching niggas the game. They corrupted it. Then the white people came in and just snatched everything out of our community. You know, every time we come up with something to survive, they figure out a way to take it.
Straight up.
So they arrested one of my employees for overbilling. And what that means is, like, one of the parents that was a part of my daycare, she would drop her kids off. And then sometimes she was like, I'm going to drop them off or I'm not gonna drop them off, but y'all can still count them. Well, you can't do that. So they end up getting arrested, you know what I'm saying, and doing a year in jail for overbilling the government. It was my business, but it wasn't in my name. So fortunately for me, I didn't get indicted. You know, that would have been tragic. You know,
yeah, absolutely. That would have
stuff
been
that you didn't know.
Yeah.
But you know, that's why you got to oversee your business, because people do all kind of stuff. Every time I go to McDonald's, somebody try to give me some free fries.
Right.
I don't want that shit.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's my business. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want you to give away my shit. So why you giving away these folks shit? You know,
Right.
but that's how people do it. You know,
Yeah,
you get free
yeah.
sodas and all that, and you know they don't know at the end of the day you messing up the bottom line.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that you know, that's how I was able to flourish and shine for so many years. You know, because I'm making millions of dollars legitimately. Then I got my books selling. You know what I'm saying? Then I got my DVDs. They're going. So you know, that's
so slow it down real quick for me. You named a lot of hip hop artists, heavy hitters that you done worked with in the game. For like the hip hop audience out there, share with us, like, what was your first exposure to the hip hop industry? Who did you work with first, as far as, like, you know, music?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in my book I talk about the art of human chess. I came down here, and what I did was I said the 112 was popping. I don't know if you remember that.
112, yeah.
112 was popping like a motherfucker. So I'm just going in there. I'm seeing all these celebrities. What the fuck? You know? I'm from Milwaukee. I'm like, what the fuck, these niggas walk around, ain't got no security. I could touch Jermaine Dupri like that.
Right.
I could touch Lil Kim like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
So, you know, I'm a boss player, so my antennas went up quick. I'm like, oh, shit, this shit gonna go down. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, well, let me do this little move I be doing. I say, I go to the bartender, I give him 300. I said, man, for the next 15 minutes, have the DJ announce that the drinks are on Pimpin' Ken. So he announcing that the drinks is on Pimpin' Ken. I'd already slid up under the security, got up in the VIP, so I'm up there with P. Diddy and all of them. Them niggas kind of knew me for Pimps Up, Hold Down.
Yeah.
You know, and they kind of, you know, showed a little love.
Okay.
It wasn't like how after I got on the album. So Jermaine Dupri, man, he just kept seeing me ball out. The nigga pulled me one day and said, man, Ken, I want you to get on the album. And then I said, when you want me to go? He said, man, he was high and drinking and shit. You know, he said, man, let's go to the studio now. So we left front 112, went to the studio. And it's, you know, it's a big ass studio, basketballs and all that shit. I said, this nigga rich for real. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So we get in there and I do the thing, and I said, yeah, man, the bitch ain't on no milk carton. She ain't missing. She with some pimping, and the whole fucking room just explored.
Right.
And at that point, I know I had something. I said, damn. I said, I've been talking this shit all my life, but niggas love this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I said a few more things. I also said www.pimpinken.com. So I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing, but I knew I had a website. So I just started promoting it. And I didn't know that I was going to eventually use rappers, you know, and this opportunity they're giving me to promote my brand and my website. So then from Jermaine Dupri, at that time, he had just did a song with Jay-Z called Money Ain't a Thing. Y'all remember that?
Absolutely.
So he was the hottest nigga in the South. He was running around here with do-rags, driving motherfucking Bentleys and Rolls Royces and shit. So he was like the Jay-Z of motherfucking ATL.
Straight up.
And get with him led to Too Short, led to Lil Jon. Me and Lil Jon did 8 million on one joint. We did another 2 million. Then Pastor Troy, man, I did the 10 Pimp Command with him. You know what I'm saying? We did 5 albums together. Then Pimp C, you know, Bum B, you know, Juvenile. Oh my God, goodness, Baby from Cash Money. It's just so many people. 50 Cent, you know, Nelly, you know, all their videos and their albums. I'm just on all this shit. And I'm making all this money, you know, I'm traveling all over the world. Then all of the street niggas was like, here, man, here go 5,000, here go 10,000. Man, come get on my album. So I did about 400 albums in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So I lived off that shit for like 10, 15 years straight.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Me, and then, you know, I kind of, when Pimp C died, I kind of backed away from the game. You know what I'm saying? I just went to gambling like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm betting $4,000, $5,000 at the casino. Niggas talking to me on autographs. I said, man, get the fuck out my face. I'm mad about my nigga Pimp. You know,
man.
Pimp, see, my dad and my brother died in the same month.
Wow.
Damn, I thought you was gonna say year.
You had a
same month.
You had a close relationship with Pimp C, didn't you?
That's my best friend.
Share a story with us. Yeah.
Well, I met Pimp at the ghetto mall called Sharp Tall Mall. So I'm in there and I seen a nigga with some mink shoes on. I got a mink coat on. I liked the shoes. He liked the coat. You know what I'm saying? Me and I compliment shoes. He said, that's a bad motherfucker. He said, that's a bad motherfucking coat. And he looked at me and you know how Pimp is. Man, ain't your name Pimpin' Ken? it, man. We've been friends ever since. We went to his house that day. I slept on his mama's couch because he lived in Port Arthur, but his mama it was in Houston, so mama had a condo in Houston. So we had the condo, and you know, we chilling and shit. And I met Mama Pimp, and you know what I'm saying, we just talked all night. I showed him my movie hadn't came out yet. I'm showing him the movie, and I'm showing him all the moves that I got going on.
Yeah.
And you know, he was like, man, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. He said, Ken, you need to be a producer. I said, man, I don't know about no motherfucking producer. He said, neither did Dr. Dre. Them niggas don't do their own beats, Ken. You know, he just went off on them niggas. He's like, man, you know how Pimp is. He snapped.
Right.
He said, I'm gonna make you a producer. I said, nah, Pimp, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and so we end up just being friends, and
dope,
eventually
man.
I did some management for him. You know, when he came out of prison, I got a lot of shows for him. You know,
Okay.
You know, some intros. You know, I hooked him up with a lot of street niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
So that was how we got there. If you look at Pimp, the Best of Both Worlds, the movies I did, where he say, me and Ken Pimp hustle.
Yeah.
You know, we rap hustle. That's what he was talking about.
Okay.
Pimp used to tell me, he said, Ken, if they need a 4, they get a 4. If they need an 8, they get 8. If they need a 16 a hole, I got them. You know what I'm saying? So 4 was 4,000.
Oh,
he talking about bars. Yeah, he said 8 bars was 8,000.
Right.
16 bars was 16,000. And that was the lick. And you know, shout out to Don Fetty and all D, all them niggas, man. They spent hundreds of thousands with us. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, we just made so much money. And then, you know, the last time we really got in, they was doing the UGK album. Remember that UGK album, the last one?
Yeah.
So we in LA, and we in the studio with Michael Jackson recorded. Pimp just showed me all Michael Jackson plaques, and he was so honored to be working in the studio with Michael Jackson. He said, man, I feel so pimpish, Ken. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, this is where Michael Jackson was at, man. So we was in there, and I was sitting down. He said, go in the booth. And that's how you get the song Two Type of Bitches.
Okay.
You know, in a multi-million-dollar studio. We was staying in the Beverly Hills hotel, you know, big ass hotel, rich ass hotel. You know, Jab was paying for everything. And then, you know, Lil Jon, all them niggas was coming through. So we stayed up there. We just was balling out in LA and shit, just having fun. And then he went back home. I went home, and then I get a phone call from him. The spot. Maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, what up, Ken? Yeah, man, I'm sorry for being tardy, man. I ain't called you in a couple of days, Pimp. He said, man, I'm finna go fuck with Too Short at the club, because Too Short was in LA that day, too. So, I of course, you know, I'm nosy, like, nigga, you know, what happened with you and Too Short? Phone didn't ring. So his manager, who's the guy that did we had a $3 million deal with Universal. That's when if you hear Pimp say on Instagram say, I'm going to play Pimpin' Ken on YouTube. Mm-hmm. He said, yeah, me and Pimpin' Ken got 5 movies. I'm going to play Ken. Well, we had a movie deal. It was for $3 million. One for D. Shay Jones, one for me, and one for Pimp. You know what I'm saying, me? And so, you know, Rick, the lawyer dude, the manager dude, the big dude, he called me and said, man, you ready? Are you stand up and sitting down? So he said, Pimp dead. I just dropped the phone. I was like, damn. I said,
yeah, man.
So now I'm all on the internet, you know.
That was a tough
one.
I'm
like, man, somebody got to say something, you know.
Man.
And then nobody said nothing for hours. Man, about 9 o'clock that night, that motherfucking phone, that damn internet was
going crazy.
R.I.P. Pimp C.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man. And then right after Pimp
rest
died.
Rest in peace to the Pimp, man.
Rest
in peace.
Right after Pimp died, and Gucci Man verified that I was here in Atlanta. You know, I was staying in what's that place? College Park.
That's why.
You know what I'm saying? I was in College Park. I was staying in College Park.
Shout out the hood.
So I had this house, right? And that's why I used to have my cars at. You know, I had my Benz and my trucks and all that shit up there. You know, it's a nice little subdivision. So I didn't want niggas to know where I was at. So I had my cars. I go there. I leave my cars there and my tapes and shit. Then I go back out of town. So Atlanta was like my little. It was like a storage house.
Duck
right?
off.
It was a duck off. So
yeah.
The shit was over there. So I'm driving, and then Gucci Man was at the airport, and I was going to Milwaukee, cause I got the call that my brother only had so much time to live. So I'm Gucci Man. He's like, man, Ken, come and go. I want you to go on stage with me. So we rode to Milwaukee. I got on stage with him. I caught my brother dying from like about maybe a minute. As soon as I walked in there, he died.
Wow.
Then
Wow.
so
Did you get to speak to him?
nope.
Damn.
He died. So now, you know what I'm saying, me, I'm in Milwaukee. So I ride past. I'm going by my sister's house. I ride past my father's house. I see my father standing there in the yard. You know, he just cause he, son told me. I said, man, let me pull over, holler at Pops. I didn't pull over. I just kept going. You know what I mean? But I seen him. That was the last time I seen him live, standing right there. You know what I'm saying? Then I kept going, and then next thing I know, I get a call. My mom said, "Y'all get over here. Y'all get over here." So we walk in the house. Pops dead, like dead. You know, I'm like, we talking to him like, "Get up, Pops, quit playing." You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't used to seeing my daddy's strongest man I ever seen in my life. So then after that, it didn't dawn on me. Then it just gradually, man, I just started shutting down. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of money at the time, so I just go in the casino, and man, I wouldn't comb my hair or nothing, man. I'm just in the casino. I'm just betting like a motherfucker. I'm betting $1,000. So one time I won like $98,000. So I thought that was gonna make me feel good. I just gave all that shit back. You know what I mean? That's how bad I was gambling. So it wasn't a gambling problem. It was just like my dad loved to gamble. So it was my way of escape. I was escaping, from the reality of the situation. So that shit went on. Then I ended up traveling. I ended up moving to Myrtle Beach, the quietest place in the world. And then I moved to fucking Fort Myers, Florida, just trying to get away from everything.
Yeah.
Then some niggas started talking shit about me on the internet. So I said, what the fuck these whole ass niggas, So I'm mad, you know what I'm saying?
About Ken?
Yeah, they just niggas want to be me, And then niggas there's some niggas we squashed the beat, so I don't want to relive the beat.
Right.
So you understand me? But anyway, it woke up the giant in me. So while them niggas talking shit, I got to respond to this shit. So I got me a program. I learned how to edit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm editing and I'm responding to them, and we going back and forth, and then it just dawned on me. I said, man, damn, if you argue with a fool from a distance, don't nobody know who was a fool.
Straight up.
But then I knew through experience that God put you through certain things and that you may grow to other things, right? So I thought it was for me to get at these niggas. It was really to lead me down the course that I eventually would go. So I needed to know how to edit for some of the things that I even do right now. I needed to have that situation because at the end of the day, everybody know what I'm talking about. I end up crushing the situation. I end up winning the situation. And then a lot of niggas in the game start hollering at me and like, Ken, woo. So I got back out and I started promoting my DVDs again. And then, I moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to Texas, I was revived. I'm over this shit now.
Mm-hmm.
I figured if I moved to Texas, I'd be close to Pimp C. That shit will, revive my spirit, because Pimp was like my spirit. We had, like I said, we had a $3 million deal.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So I just got to banging, and I opened up me a motherfucking dispensary, CBD dispensary, and I bought a lot of property in Kane, Texas. Bought houses and shit in Dallas, and money just started coming back in. Shit just started happening again, and I ain't had a car in so long, so I bought me, the Benz. When my son say the Benz with the rape star, we had that. We just hustling, we just doing all that shit, you know what I mean? And then, it just, my son, he was in college. He said, Pops, I want to get in the music industry. And my other son went to L.A. He's on that movie, All American.
Is that Supreme or the
no, that's little Kenny Ivy.
Okay.
Kenny Ivy Jr.
All American on Netflix.
He's on all that shit, and he's on a bunch of movies. So all that shit just started, happening and inspiring me. Then I said, man, I'm gonna do what I always wanted to do. I said I'm gonna go back to Atlanta and I'm gonna put it down. So that's when I came down here. I got me a condo in Buckhead, and I just started the Hip-Hop Fraternity. And Angela can probably tell you a little bit about the Hip-Hop Fraternity.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the Hip-Hop Fraternity. How did it get started, and what exactly is it?
Hold on one
Okay,
second.
so basically, Ken has so much experience with artists, and he has so many platinum plaques. And plus his son, Supreme, is a rapper as well.
Right.
So he was tired of his son coming to him about all these showcases, because if you know anything about Atlanta,
Right.
they charge for every time you want to do a performance.
Straight up.
So Ken was like, I could do this a lot better. So basically, that motivated him to move to Atlanta to start the Hip-Hop Fraternity. He started it in his, basement in his apartment, and people started tapping in and stuff like that. And basically, what the Hip-Hop Fraternity is, it's a community, a brotherhood, and a sisterhood of entertainers and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And we're all under this one umbrella to support each other.
Gotcha.
So what Ken says to us is, imagine the Hip-Hop Fraternity right now. We have about 2,000 members in less than a year, right? Because we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary in October.
Okay.
We have about 2,000 members. So his philosophy is, let's get 1 million members and let Supreme or any of our platinum artists or any of our members who have something going on, put that on the hiphopfraternity.com and let's support them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say Supreme drops an album tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and each member, we have 1 million members, and the album is $1. And we all go on there and download or stream the album for the dollar. He just
right.
made $1 million within 24 hours.
And that's on the inside, based on the Hip Hop Fraternity
Just the
alone.
community.
Exactly.
Not even the outside and all the other fans that's out there.
Right. So it's a platform for our community
Mm-hmm.
to take back what we started, which is hip hop. Like he just said, a lot of people, they want to take what's ours.
Right.
Well, the Hip Hop Fraternity is our culture, our call. You know what I mean? It's our culture, it's our call. It's time for us to take back what was stolen from us. So we want to educate our members. We want to show them how to properly get their royalties. We want to show them how they can keep their masters. We want to help them with artist development. And Ken does it like no one else. He has a platform that is completely free every single Monday at Whiskey Teas in Stockbridge. We don't charge a dime. Free parking, free entry, and 1 free performance. And guess what? We have all these cameramen, like our lead cameraman right there over our film department, Vado, and his interns who come out there and videotape us, and then we put it on the internet, and within less than a year we got 7,000 followers on Instagram and thousands of views. Pimpin Ken just was on Big Facts, which Young Dolph, God rest his soul,
Rest in
his
peace, though.
tape beat us just by a little bit. We were number 3 biggest watched Big Facts video
Episode.
ever right
Oh,
now.
wow.
We've done over 700,000 views. It's probably at 1 million right now.
Wow.
So Ken, he has a plethora of experience, a plethora of knowledge, and he believes in empowering women, because he's not pimping no more. He's not pimping hoes no more.
Right.
So now he's taking beautiful, intelligent women like myself and putting us in power positions. So majority of his board is females.
Straight
where
up.
other people would have all men running their operation. He's the total opposite. So whatever they're doing, like he said, we're not doing.
I got you.
And basically, the Hip Hop Fraternity, we one of our core values is love, peace, and respect. Love, peace, and respect. So you have Vice Lords, Bloods, Crips, all these people, hood dudes, professional women, all under one roof, supporting each other for one golden cause.
Straight up. And you said y'all are at over 2,000 members right now?
Yeah, we're about at 2,000
2,000 members. We had 1,400 on the what you call it. We had probably about 6,000 people come through our doors. It's a phenomenal.
Is it like a school
or
is it like
I'm
a brand?
I'm gonna let Vadu
like a
tell y'all
label?
about the inceptions and some of the things we're doing with Netflix and all that stuff, because y'all got to really hear that.
Okay.
Yes. Basically, when Kane started the Hip-Hop Fraternity, we started recording videos in the basement. So we have a lot of videos, early videos of how things was started, how we took it from the basement all the way to now, Whiskey Tea. We did KOD. So we're gonna work on that documentary, on the Hip-Hop Fraternity documentary, how everything got started and how everything's going. And also we have a couple more documentaries that we're working with IC and Boosie about, Pimpin Ken is a little book agent, so we've been helping artists get the book deals and stuff. So we work on that documentary too with, you got a book deal with Boosie, Ice-T, the original Rick Ross, and
Corey Wise,
and a couple more. So we're working on that documentary how, because sometimes people don't know what is a book deal, liquor deal, or they don't know the in and out of it. You know what I'm saying? So he's actually we go in and tell people how things get real behind the scene, how all the challenges, it's not that easy that people think it is.
Exactly.
So we're doing the documentary on that. So it's gonna be a very, it's a Netflix. It's gonna be a Netflix series. So it's gonna be a very, very powerful documentaries. And we do all the things. You know, we're about to do a lot of stuff for hip-hop fraternities. With artists about to shooting the videos, music videos, content, photo shoots. So there's a lot of stuff coming up, especially 2022.
Okay.
That we're working on. So I'm the video director, so I'm making sure the videos. See, earlier I was just getting some videos, some behind the scenes, making sure that we also have that media presence and all that stuff. But it's coming along.
Okay.
It's coming along.
Okay. So I heard you mention Boosie.
Yeah.
Is he working with the what did you say about his?
You're working on the documentary on the book thing.
Yeah. Well,
And
Boosie,
liquor.
Well, Boosie is like for the people out there that don't know, and all the brothers in the hip hop community. I'm talking about the broad hip hop community. They got millions of fans. I'm a literary agent, so I just signed Boosie, to a book deal. I just signed Ice-T to a book deal.
Okay.
I signed Corey Wise to a book deal, and in the process, we came up with this concept called the making of an autobiography for a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
So we filmed the entire process, and then so I'm doing outtakes where I'm explaining to people how to do a book deal, how to get on a corporate level, how to get this money, and how to deal with these people on that level. So that's one of the things that we're doing. Also I do liquor deals too. So Steve Love and I are celebrity brands. What we do is we give people like Boosie, we give them a deal. We give them equity deals, which we give them the most amount of money, 51 to 60% of the deal. And then, we show them how to push the liquor. We teach them, how to do parties and sell liquor on a whole nother level where, it ain't just selling out the liquor store. So these guys are actually selling millions and millions of dollars worth of liquor up under our tutelage, up under our strategy.
Right.
And, they're becoming financially, secured, and that's what we do.
Dope.
So that's outside of the Hip-Hop Fraternity. So him and I also have film projects that we're working on. Like I said, we got another one called Jail Tales, where we actually got Rick Ross and Tariq Nasheed and Boosie and Ice-T and Judge Joe Brown, all these people participating who are going to be, participants in the project. So, it's just, we just doing it on that level, and at the same time, like he said, Rick Ross, the original Rick Ross, a few other people, we working with them in terms of getting them also into the projects. Because my ultimate objective is to go to every person who ever done a book, and then basically, document that and put it in our docu-series, the making of the book. You know what I'm saying? So that can go from multiple levels, to different people. So that's some of the things that we're doing from a business standpoint. And then another thing about the Hip-Hop Fraternity is we teach the artists about cryptology. We teach them about, blockchain. We teach them about NFTs, NFCs, near-field communication. I did a NFC tag for Ice-T for his T-shirt, where artists can just walk past without even talking to the artist, and scan that T-shirt and scan it on your shirt or whatever, and you can actually get straight to the platform, which is going to be on the blockchain, and purchase it with cryptocurrency. That's something that we're doing. We're also teaching artists about administration. A lot of people talk about publishing, and that's just one side. You got the performance arts side. These performance arts, but do you know what administrator? Do you know what sound trust is? We try to teach them about sound trust. Sound trust is a whole nother level.
Sound trust.
Where they can go and get, the right money. You know what I'm saying? We got
NFTs.
Not NFTs. RSIC.
Yeah, the ISRC codes.
Where they can actually get they can get the code, because now a lot of artists argue for publishing, but with these codes, what happens is they digitize and they come from the satellite, and so whoever own them own the actual production of the music. You know what I'm saying? So even though she's talking about publishing, if they're gonna pay the money, they're gonna pay the money to the person who own the RSIC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're teaching them about that. You know, teach them about, you know, escalation calls and de-escalation calls, just the music business, because it's 90% business and 10% music, and that's what we teach over at the Hip-Hop Fraternity. I got a favorite saying: if I got $100 bill, and I give you $100 bill, you give me a deal. You say, Kim, I'm gonna give you 15%. That's $15. You're gonna keep 85%. That's $85, which what the record labels are doing. It puts me in a very precarious situation.
Right.
You know, so what's that mean? When I say precarious, it put me in a very dangerous situation, because now you're getting $850,000 every time I sell a million. I'm only getting 15, but you're charging me 50% of the production. So what that means is that if I do a video 100,000, I owe 50, and you owe 50. So that leaves me with $100,000 left. If I do studio time, and that's another 100,000, even though they paying for it, it's going against my debt. So they get me so far in debt to the point where, in order for me to get out of debt, I have to sell some of my publishing. You know, and that's how a lot of companies end up with publishing. They just give these guys so many advances that they eventually go into the hole.
I got you.
And so dealing with a record label, right?
Yeah.
It's like dealing with a bank. That'll be, you know, U.S. Bank or Regions. You know, you're dealing with, you know, on the book side, it's like dealing with Caesars or MGM Graham. You know, because you don't have to pay the advance back to a publishing company, but you have to pay it back to a record label.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So we just teaching them the little small, intricate, you know, aspects of business, teaching them about equity, teaching about group economics and stuff like that. So that's what the hip-hop fraternity, that's our core value. So now we have to practice what we preach, right? So we own our own magazine, Hip-Hop Fraternity magazine.
Okay.
We own our own radio station. We own our own social media, which is thehiphopfraternity.com. You know, we own our own clothing line, which is all the Leatherman jackets and all the t-shirts. We own our own clothing line. We own our own record company. We own our own management company. So we're not just talking. We speak with two tongues, the one in my mouth and the one in my shoe. We walk that walk and we talk that talk.
Straight up.
So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, a lot of people preach this stuff. You hear all these people talking about some do this and do this, do this. We don't talk about it. We be about it. And that's what we are. We are examples. You know, we are examples in hip-hop. We're teaching all of the brothers out there who sell millions of records, you know, the young dudes that's really getting money right now. We're teaching them how the game go.
So for some artists or business individuals, executives, you know, upcoming individuals that might want to be involved with the hip-hop fraternity, how do they become a part of what y'all got going on?
All you got to do is sign up to thehiphopfraternity.com, and we got your email. We're going to send you an email, and we're going to send you a demonstration on how to come to the meetings. And we're also looking for people from other states to set up chapters.
It's for anybody, like
anybody. See, anybody who loves hip hop can join the hip hop fraternity, because that's what it is. The hip hop fraternity is just a fraternity for all those who love hip hop. That's simply what it means. You can just go in there, you sign up, you put your information in, and then you can share your videos. You can put your videos up. You can put your music up. You know, you can correspond. We got chat lines. Everything in Instagram we got at the hip hop.
How many different states are you in?
I'm all over the country right now. We got Stacy in Denver. We got Frank Bay in Arkansas.
Hold on real quick. Hey, what's that, DG? Like, I ain't trying.
That here, I think it's my thing.
It's one of them phones, probably.
Oh, okay. All right.
You still here?
Yeah, but
Milwaukee, he's opening up a Washington D.C. chapter. We just did an interview with them a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So they're excited. Washington D.C. they want to open up a chapter. You got the Atlanta chapter. You got Milwaukee. You got the one in, is it Dallas or Houston?
In Dallas, Montana. We got Milwaukee, Claybo. We got Vegas. We got Dr. Mello in California. We got D. Shay Jones in Nashville, Tennessee. We got
it's
Washington,
expanding.
D.C.
I see. Yeah, it sound like it.
Sure. See, y'all get it. Them folk, man, they everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I want to say something about the Hip Hop Awards.
Okay.
The Hip Hop Fraternity Awards that's coming up
Okay.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be March 26th and 27th. Our president, Marvin Ivy, Ken's brother, is in charge of it.
Okay.
So we're going to be looking for volunteers. If you want to volunteer with the hip-hop community, you can email us. You can go to the hiphopfraternity.com and get in contact with us there, or go on one of our Instagram channels like HHF_magazine and get in contact with us if you want to volunteer or be a part of it. We're also going to be looking to nominate all the phenomenal people that's in the hip-hop industry. So if you want to nominate someone who you know worked hard in the hip-hop industry and they deserve a trophy, an award, we want to get all your nominations. And if you're an artist who wants to perform, on Friday night, we're going to have a showcase event to showcase all the artist talents from all around the world. People are welcome to come and join. You can go to the website to sign up for that. And also Saturday is going to be a black tie affair. So y'all going to have to get snazzy. You're going to have to put it on.
It's open to everybody.
Yeah, of course.
Where is it going to be held
y'all
at?
Media, let me say this, Andrew, excuse me. So all media, if you're looking for a media pass, you can hit me up at 404-790-9627. We got media passes and the same number for artists if you want to sign up. And Jack Thriller will be hosting it.
Yes, Jack Thriller.
Where is it going to be held at?
It's going to be held right here in Atlanta, guys.
Okay.
We're looking at the Atrium for Friday night, and we're actually in the middle of booking a very nice hotel, hopefully downtown Atlanta, for the Saturday event. So if you're flying into town, you can, we're going to try to get you some group rates so you can stay at the hotel and just go straight to the event from there.
Straight up. Okay.
Yeah, so be on the lookout on the website at thehiphopfraternity.com and on Instagram or our Facebook page, The Hip Hop Fraternity, for more information.
What's the dates again?
March 26th and 27th. And I don't even want to tell y'all who all's coming because we're still in talks.
Right.
But no, there's some huge, I'm talking about A-listers that's going to be in the building.
Y'all got that Best New Podcast Award.
We need to add that for y'all, huh? Y'all already got the award.
Now look, I don't know if I heard you correctly earlier, because after hearing everything that the Hip Hop Fraternity has going on, I don't know if y'all have accomplished this much in such a short amount of time, but the Hip Hop Fraternity has only been around for 1 year.
Yes.
And y'all have done all of this.
And don't forget this, right?
Yeah.
We have fed, before we went to Whiskey Teas, we fed everybody out of our pockets.
Straight up.
We let them in free, so this has been, that's why I said, when people say, what's our game? It's no game. It's free game.
Free game.
Free game.
So a lot of people, they didn't understand how we was able to feed these people, large amounts of people for a whole year.
Right.
But that's one thing that we do. You know what I'm saying? We, even to this day, our performances is free and people get in free, and people don't understand why we do that. I try to tell people, man, the Bible says better to give than to receive.
Always.
So that's why we are so blessed. That's why we grown so
For
fast.
sure.
Is because people from all over the world, they see what we're doing. They be like, man, I want to be a part of that. You guys are phenomenal. How y'all able to do that? And I believe too, much is given. Much is expected. Much is required. So that's our motto. So we do all this stuff out of love. And I've always been told, and I believe in that. I believe in that wholeheartedly. Whatever you do for free, you know what I'm saying, and whatever you do because out of love, you know what I'm saying. Money is a byproduct. Money will follow that. So those are some of the things that I learned in my career. Is that you just got to do what you do. Have a labor of love. So everything we do, we're doing it out of love.
Straight up.
So that's why we've been so successful. That's why we was on Off the Porch on y'all thing. We've been on Big Facts. We just did. You ever heard of 85 South?
Yeah.
We did 85 South Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
finna do Drink Champs. We finna do
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Dope.
And we don't have a publicist. These people are calling us.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
what love does.
You're the man right now.
You know what I'm saying? That's what love does.
Sure.
So
Straight up.
one of our principles is love. One of the other principles is peace, and one is respect. So as long as we got love, peace, and respect, and we believe in the man upstairs, the creator who was never created, then these fabulous things that y'all see is happening to HHF on a continuous basis, a continuous level, then it's going to continue to happen. Of course, with higher levels come higher devils. So the devil has been busy. Somebody did hack the Hip-Hop Fraternity site.
Yes, they
You know what I'm
did.
saying? And they've been trying to steal money from people. But you know what? We got another site called HHF_magazine, and we ain't falling for that trick no more. So you know what I mean? It's a good thing. You know, I mean, we even had you know a whole bunch of stuff happen. But you know, at the same time, you know, I'm a firm believer that you know what you go through, you grow through. You have a major fall through before you have a major breakthrough.
Straight up.
You know, I always tell people, you know, if you can get past the bull, the BS, you can change your mentality, you can change reality. If you can change your attitude, you can change your aptitude. You know, whatever the mind believe and conceive, it can achieve.
Absolutely.
You know, winner never quit, and quitter never win. Man must plan its work, and work its plan. And that's how we move. Everything we do is planned out to the letter. It's all strategy. That's why I talk about in my book, The Art of Human Chess. You know, you got to have a strategy. You got to maneuver. You got to plot. You know, you got to know deception. You got to know manipulation. Because even if you're not a deceptive person, the person next to you could be deceptive. So it's better to know about deception to keep it up off you than to not know, right?
Absolutely.
That's why I say it's essential that people get my book. You know, because I'm teaching them the game. And, you know, from all levels. And that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wake people up, man. I throw an alarm into the graveyard to wake up the dead, you know.
Already.
You know, and then, you know, that's just how it go.
Yeah, let's you said what was the name of your book? What was the title?
I got two books. Pimpology, The 48 Laws of the Game, and then I got the book, The Art of Human Chess. And you can find both of these books at audiobook.com. Type in my name, Pimpin Ken. Or you go to Amazon and type in my name, Pimpin Ken. You can go to Barnes & Nobles. You can go to Walmart. You can go to Target. My books are sold all over the world. Both of my books are bestsellers. So, you know, I mean, it's
New York Times bestsellers, right?
Man, hey, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, man, listen, man. A lot of people, right, especially since Pimp Stuff Hold Down, they was waiting for me to drop some game.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, when you in the game, you don't know you got game. I ain't never knew I had game. So the stuff I was writing about, you know, I was just doing it to get $250,000.
Right.
But I found out after I wrote the book that people loved it. Then I look at some of the reviews on Amazon and on audiobook.com. I'm like, man, yeah, this is a classic. And I see why it became a bestseller. Because this is a classic, good information. You know, I'm a straight shooter. You know, I could talk to your grandmama. I could talk to the slickest nigga in the streets. I could talk to the kids. You know, I raised all my children. All my children went to college. All my children is doing well. You know, my son, like
That's
I
beautiful,
said,
man.
he graduated from the Academy of New York in this film school in right next to Universal Studios.
Well, when you operating on love, peace, and respect, it's only right that your children, you know, come out on top and doing what they supposed to be doing.
DG, something keeps studying, cuz I don't know what it
It got to
is.
be, I
His
can't
mic
hear it 'cause I
come
ain't got the what's the name. It's the phones on the table.
Think so?
Yeah, it's feedback. I know so.
Yeah, I know you don't edit this, but I think it's in this
Yeah.
thing. I keep moving around. Okay, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
here, check it out real quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get some headphones. You
Alright. Yeah, what you were saying now?
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, raising children, you know, it gave me an opportunity. You know, like me, he was talking to Colin way up here. I said, man, you know, I mastered the art of discipline. So when I discipline somebody, I know what the results of this. You know, when I actually discipline, if I let my son Supreme get away with something, then little Kenny coming at me. You know what I'm saying? Or Kendriana coming at me, or Kanisha, or Yaya, or Javante, they all gonna come at me. You know what I mean? So I had to be firm, and I had to discipline them and let them know who the man of the house was. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I lead. You know, I learned all that, and my children was actually my case study to leadership. You know what I'm saying? And I see that all of them turned out well. You know,
That's
all my
beautiful,
children
man.
turned out
That's
well.
beautiful. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Just raising your children the right way. You know, having them to, you know, go in the way that they was trained up to go. You know what I mean? So salute to you for that. You know what I mean? Like that's a beautiful thing.
Like I'm working on a book. And my homeboy, he working on a book too. I think he about almost done with his book.
Okay.
And for people who out there in the audience who might be trying to work on a book, what advice would you give them about doing something like that in that venture in the right way?
Okay, well, first of all, I always tell people, man, you know, if you really want to get a book deal from a publishing company, you really got to get your social media numbers up.
Right.
Because it been so many people, you know, I can name some people that we both know that went in there and took them folks' money and ran off. You know what I'm saying? So they apprehensive. You know what I'm saying? They have, you know, they have a disposition, you know, that's kind of negative towards just throwing money away. So what they do is how they do the assessment. They look at your social media and they say, well, if you got 10 million followers, we can sell possibly, you know, 1 million books or 500,000 books, and that's how they determine the advance. But I tell the artists all the time, you know, I told all of them, you know, that signed with me, that, man, listen, the lower the advance, the better. Because if we take a lower advance and you have a great breakout and you sell millions of dollars in books, then that's going to negotiate our next deal where we can ask for a big advance.
Right.
You know, and plus the advance in the publishing company is that you don't have to pay it back, you know. So, but you want your royalties to look good. You want to get on the royalty side because now you got better negotiating power, you know, especially from my perspective. So, but the people who ain't fortunate enough to have, you know, these great, numbers in terms of, you know, social media. You know, I did my last book, The Art of Human Chess, independent. And I made more money off that book, independent, than I made off the entire, you know, money of the first book, even with the $250,000 that they gave me up front.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? Like, for example, when I did Big Facts the other day, you know, over 20,000 people tuned in and purchased my book. So you already know what that looked like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's easy money. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, if you feel that you have any celebrity dome or you feel like you got any celebrity about yourself, or you know some celebrities, if you say, Ken, post my book on the page, and I get 20, 30,000 people to buy your book, then that money go directly and you get paid within 30 days. So that's what I say. I say, just like I said to the music industry, go independent. All of them pimps. Anytime you sign a contract, the contract is always, you know, is always skewed or it's always to the benefit of the person who's giving the deal. You know, and you always getting pimped. You know, I don't care if you do got a pimp like Pimpin Ken negotiating your contract. So my first advice to anybody out there that want to write a book is to do it independent. You would just go to lulu.com. Lulu.com and sign up. And if you want to do an audiobook, go to acx.com. And then they hire, you can hire a producer, and the producer read the book for you. It'll do all the sound effects. And you probably give them a few $100, you know what I'm saying? And you own 100% of your merchandise. And then if you want to do
For sure.
Lulu allows you to buy wholesale. So if you want to buy a Pimpin Ken, 20 Pimpin Ken books, I can go inside the back channels of Lulu. They're going to charge me wholesale price, and they're going to ship the books and everything to you, so you become your own distributor with Lulu. You know, this is what you want to do anyway. You know, so there's different ways, just like in the music industry, in the publishing company, that, you know, you can do to get the maximum amount of profits. You know, and like I said, you know, if somebody give you 100,000, they're gonna push the book extremely hard. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know, you first of all you got to make that 100,000 back, plus they got to make money. So, you know, if you have a bad week or you have a bad breakout day, and you know your books don't sell well, you know you caught up in a funky situation. But if you put a book out on Lulu.com tomorrow, and you get on this podcast, and 100,000 people buy it, you know you gonna have your $1 million overnight. You know what I mean? So
straight up,
it's a numbers game. You know, it's like
sure.
I tell the artists, you know, it's all about the numbers. Then you can put it on the blockchain.
right?
You can turn it into an NFT. You can have one book that's an alligator. You know what I'm saying? With your signature on it. You know, it's alligator, and you can have diamonds on it. That can be sold for 100,000, 10,000, and then every time they sell it, you know, you can get 20% on NFT. You know what I'm saying? So if it keeps selling and the book scale, then you can make money the rest of your life. So it's different ways of, you know, approaching the situation. You know, and I will do another book deal with a publishing company if, you know, the negotiation is a joint venture. You know, if we 50-50 on the deal, I would do it. But I would never do a 15% or a 5% royalty ever again in my life.
Can you tell us about some of the artists that y'all have with the Hip-Hop Fraternity?
Oh yeah, we got the Platinum All Star. You know, we got J Fifth. We got Supreme. We got H3. We got H2O. We got JJ. We got Lexi. We got Dutch. And we got quite a few platinum artists. Complete. She know everything. So and we really give them a fair shot. I mean, some of the marketing strategies we got is gonna benefit them all. Right now the main artist at HHF is HHF, so that's why we're here. We're gonna promote the Hip Hop Fraternity because people get behind the calls before they individual. And like Angela was speaking on earlier, if we can get 1 million people on the site, which is our goal, then those artists will be able to sell their music within in-house, and then they'll be able to, spread it abroad as well. So we have a tactic. It's a method to our madness. You know what I'm saying? We are shrewd businessmen and businesswomen. You know what I'm saying? So everything we do is strategy.
Yeah.
We don't do nothing without planning. We meet every Sunday, non-stop, and we sit back and we strategize and we figure everything out. We look at the analytics. We look at the mega trends. We look at all of the the different contemporary stuff that's going on in the hip hop community, and we just bang it out. We spit the game. And Brother Vado, he's our videographer, so he pretty much takes the empty canvas and turn it into a Picasso or Michelangelo, and he paint a beautiful picture for the people to see. And that's what we're about. We're a family. We stick together. We eat together. We talk shit to each other. We're family. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot of us. Everybody that's cool with each other, they met through the Hip Hop Fraternity.
Yeah,
never met each other before. You got her. Just know all her new friends is through the Hip Hop Fraternity. She can call them people. They communicate. Same thing with him. Every time I call them, they ride together. They doing something together. They going out to eat. That's what we need. The oppressor said that we can't come together. He said that we are people that are divided and separate. But the Bible said, Abraham, know for surety that your people be a stranger in a strange land, and after 400 years they will come out with great substance. First example of that was Barack Obama. The second example of that is Hip Hop Fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Because we're bringing brothers and sisters together, Crips and Bloods, GDs and Vice stores. We had the brother BMF over there. We had them brothers at our organization. We got these different facets who normally be killing each other at night. It's all coming together under one umbrella, under the Hip Hop Fraternity. Dope. And they're all learning, and we educate them,
Yeah.
And, we teach them about group economics.
Straight up.
Because if they buy each other music and they look out for one another, that's group economics. We teach them group politics, how to come together as a unit. This is an official black think tank. You know what I'm saying? We are a black think tank. We're no different. It's 2,220. It's 2,800 white think tanks. There's 3 black think tanks: NAACP, Action, Urban League, and the Operation Push. 3 in our 500 year sojourn in this country. The 4th is Hip Hop Fraternity. It's compiled of young African American men and women, some Caucasians may have came in, but this is our culture. So what we're doing, unlike Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and being there over there at the NAACP, what we're doing is we're bringing brothers together from Black Panther Party. Shout out to the Black Panther Party.
What about the Nation of Islam? Would you consider them one?
I think that's a religious organization.
Okay, gotcha.
When I say a black think tank, that means that all brothers and sisters from all walks of life.
Right.
Like she said, she's a professional woman. She's a real estate agent by profession.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a literary agent by profession. He do video. He's a videographer. And then we got artists. And we got producers. So everybody is welcome. You can be a member of the Nation of Islam and be a member of the Hip Hop Fraternity. We got brother Fred Hampton from the Black Panther Party. Fred Hampton Jr. He came and he endorsed the Hip Hop Fraternity. Goody Mob is endorsed Hip Hop Fraternity.
Feel Mob.
Feel Mob.
Ice-T, Mystical.
Ice-T, Jack Thriller's on our board.
Maybach Music.
Ice-T is on our board.
Shout,
You know, Maybach Music is on the board of Hip Hop Fraternity. All you gotta do is go to the website, thehiphopfraternity.com, and type in board members. So, you know, we bringing even the big side. We bringing the independent people and the big collage, you know, the big time celebrities. And you know, it's all through our leadership, you know, our board. You know, we able to, you know, resonate with people who normally, you know, wouldn't be interested in being a part of something because it's always niggly. That ain't a word, but I'm making it up. You know what I'm saying? Me, so there's always some niggly shit. You know what I'm saying? Me, so they know we ain't that niggly shit. You know what I'm saying? So they see us and they say, wow, you know, this is a formidable organization. These people are really moving. See, that's what a movement is supposed to do. It's supposed to move.
Straight up.
And, you know, we move so quick and so fast and so ginormous, everybody has got to pay attention. They see us being on all these podcasts. They see us being on all these talk shows, and they're like, wow, how they moving so quick?
Yeah.
Because we're a movement. And, you know, we don't discriminate. We haven't had one fight. You know, and ain't been no drama, none of that stuff, man. I'm talking about when I say you got Vice Lords, NGDs right there next to each other. And ain't nobody, and these dudes, I don't know what they got in the car. I know they ain't coming in there strapped. You know, that's amazing, man. So if you look at Isaac Newton, he said the theory of relativity, right? He said if you throw an apple, it's gonna come down, right? What goes up must come down, right?
Right.
So, but it was some boys called the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers said, how about aerodynamics and a little petrol? So what they did was they defied gravity. So now airplanes can go and they can fly for 17 to 18 hours. You know, well, they said black folks can't unify. Well, how about some HHF aerodynamics? We define the gravity of that garbage.
That's
you know?
all right.
Yeah, that's gravitational bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So we define that, you know what I mean, by coming together and by unifying. And we invite all brothers and sisters that's out there in TV land or podcast land. All you gotta do is go to thehiphopfraternity.com and join up with us. And I guarantee you that we're gonna be a family, that we're gonna stick together. It's all of us as bosses. Ain't no big eyes and little U's in HHF. He still can have his podcast. We're not gonna ask for a percentage. He don't owe us no money. He ain't got to pay to join. All we want is his unity and his respect and his love. You know what I'm saying? Me, and that's all we ask for. It ain't no gimmicks, ain't no tricks to it, nothing. We ain't shaking the ball, ain't no ball between our fingers. We ain't flipping the card over, you know, and making you think it's somewhere else. Ain't none of that. It's just straight up brothers and sisters coming together. And that's why we're winning, you know, because we need that.
Yeah.
You know,
we definitely do need that. You know what I mean?
Look at the mass incarceration, man. Look how our brothers getting locked up.
Yeah.
America is 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's incarceration.
I just heard that the other day too.
African Americans comprise, talking about us, eligible criminals, is 6% of the population. That ain't including your grandma, your auntie, or whatever. It's 6% young men in America is eligible to go to prison. But the prison is 2.5 million. Out that 2.5 million, 50% of that is African American. How can 6% of the people of eligible convicts and criminals be 50% or 51% of the prison system? It's a travesty. Something wrong with that picture because
something is absolutely wrong with that picture.
Because they criminalize everything. If you smoke weed in your car and you got tinted windows, that's a crime. If you at Walmart and you hit her door and you dent her door and you pull off, that's called leaving the scene of a crime. That's a felony. You know, pimping is now a felony. Pimping wasn't a felony when I first started. When I first started seeing brothers selling drugs back in the early 70s and 80s, you know what I'm saying? The same thing, that same cocaine, keys, you get 2 months for it. Now they're giving brothers life sentences.
Football,
you know what I'm saying?
Football numbers.
You know, so that means that they have a profit. So you go back to the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment says slavery is abolished itself when one duly commits a crime. The 14th Amendment is supposed to deal with civil rights. That's why Malcolm X said we don't want civil rights, we want human rights, because civil rights deal with the civility of a people. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at the 13th Amendment and you think about it, it says slavery is abolished for oneself. You got to think about the Confederacy. You got to think about the Confederates. You know what I'm saying? The Confederates was like, okay, you know, y'all done took our land, y'all done took our slaves. How do we benefit? Well, we're a sovereign nation. You know, we're part of the human family, allegedly. So we got to construct laws that if these people violate, then we can justify slavery. And that haven't changed. in almost 200 years. So they still enslaving brothers, but they doing it systematically. They doing it through white supremacy. So what that means is, if you think about it, they say, okay, if you ex-felon, you get caught with a gun, you get 15 to life. If you get 3 strikes, you get 15 to life. That's double jeopardy, right? You know what I'm saying? But they ain't gonna tell you that. They just gonna, while we out there riding and smoking weed, they in the chambers making laws. So now we subjected to those laws, and you wonder why 6% of us comprise 50% of the incarceration, because that's the game. I talk about that in my book, Art and Human Chess. All of y'all, all of us are living pawns. They playing pawns with us, man. They playing human chess with us. They locking us up, and they locking brothers up forever. And guess what happened? Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, I don't know if y'all know Dr. Frances Cress
Absolutely.
Welsing. She wrote a book called The ISIS Paper. In her book, she talked about that's a form of sterilization. I mean, right? How you say it?
Sterilization.
Yeah, sterilization. They
Sterilizing.
They sterilizing the African American penis. Did you know that if you look at what she was saying is that you look at the bullet, you look at the Washington Monument, you look at anything, it's all in semblance of the black man penis. Because what brothers and sisters, y'all don't know, we have what's called melanin, and what melanin does it forms hue. So during the early fetus, it produces motor skills and intellectual skills. So that's when the melanin is formed. The darker you are, the more pigments you got, the more intelligent you are, the more potent you are sexually, the more motor skills you have, the better you can play basketball. That's why we so good at basketball and all this other stuff, right? But here's the irony of that. You know what I'm saying? What they want to do is they want to trap that melanin. You know what I'm saying? How they trap that melanin? By trapping it in the penitentiary. So now you can't reproduce. So the black man penis is the real weapon of mass destruction. Because if you go have sex with a white woman, what's she gonna do?
She's
gonna produce out of Barack Obama, right?
So
So you know what I mean? And that's why Africa is the most colonized country in the world, because they don't want brothers like this. My brother from Africa, they don't want him amalgamating with white women. Because if he amalgamate with a white woman, guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna turn the whole world her color. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Right. The whole world gonna be his color. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get darker and darker and darker until we wipe them out. That's why people don't understand white supremacy. White supremacy don't got nothing to do with no niggas and hatred of niggas on Ku Klux Klan. It's got a lot to do with survival.
Yeah.
Your penis, because you the original man. See, Dr. Mendel, he said that you can get the recessive out of the dominant, but you can't get the dominant out of the recessive. So what that means is that the darker the genes, the more dominant they are. You know what I'm saying? So we can produce an albino baby, but they can't produce a dark baby. You see what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So, but through amalgamation and through sex and copulation, we can wipe them completely out. And that's why so many young African Americans in jail. Not only that, there's a thing called CCA, Correctional Corporation America, and what that means is that these people are on New York Stock Exchange, so they are privatizing prison. They're actually getting money from inmates. So they get paid for this. So all this is, this is what we teach in the Hip-Hop Fraternity. Yeah. All this is just game
algorithms. Like we algorithms, sure. We pawns. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Definitely. Like that's the way it's set up. That's the game, and so that's why I'm real happy to see what the Hip-Hop Fraternity is doing. You know what I mean? And Vice Lords and GDs can come together for a common cause. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. I know that y'all mentioned y'all got the Breakfast Club coming up. You got Drink Champs. You got the awards coming up. What else can we look forward to as far as
for Pimpin and the fraternity?
I got a new book coming out.
Sure.
I can't say it right now. People always tell me.
I thought we were gonna get an exclusive.
Man, I'm gonna bring it up here when it's done, right?
Yeah, but let's do that.
But like I said, we got the Hip-Hop Fraternity records coming. We got the HHF All Stars, which is some of our top artists that we done picked over the years, because the year we've been involved, we have what you call a mini Apollo / mini American Idol. So we get to see the artists in Atlanta before anybody else. So we was able to select and pick the ones that we thought that was most capable. So we got a young artist, by the name of H3 and JJ. man, when I tell you, if you go on the page and look at they some outcasts like type brothers, you know, and they from the A, they cool, you know. And brothers, we finna have a comedy. Me and Jack Thriller, we was talking about having HHF comedy too. So we're gonna do a comedy tour. You know, we have HHF tour. You know, we got tours, we got everything coming up. You know, I mean, basically,
that's what's up.
You know, we got definitely the HHF clothing. You know, we got some nice clothes
and
coming.
you can get the merchandise on hip hop.
The hiphopfraternity.com.
Okay.
And we finna open up a store in Lenox Mall. It's gonna be the Hip-Hop Fraternity, just like you see them fraternity stores all over.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have the Hip-Hop Fraternity store in Lenox Mall, and then we trying to encourage some of our members to become entrepreneurs, and hopefully they'll franchise and they'll get their own store as well. You know, so it's we're gonna open up chapters, you know, throughout the country. You know, we're gonna have a national convention, you know, once we get all our chapters established. So, you know, it's just like it's all about. I'm a Moorish American, so but I say black because a lot of people, you know, they understand black. It's all about black empowerment, Moorish empowerment, you know. So we just basically trying to, you know, empower, you know, give brothers and sisters, you know, a lane, you know, teach them how to get money, you know, teach them how to be independent, teach them how not to bend, you know, and not to scratch where they don't itch, you know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Not to be Uncle Tom, you
Straight
know.
up.
Every time I think about that, right, I think about Toussaint L'Ouverture, you know, the Haitian Revolution, you know, in 1800s, you know, and how he was able to, you know, take over Haiti, you know, and it's the only slave revolt that worked. Now, Denmark Vinci, Gabriel Prosser, Nat Turner, all of them, they got snitched on, you know. Mandatory manumission, you know, the Act 1710, the Act, you know, the Slave Act of 1710. So, you know, what that means, if you snitch on another African, you know, that you would be rewarded. So a lot of people snitched on them, but there's one brother that they don't tell you about. His name is John Horace. And John Horace, he hung out with an Indian called Bobcat, you know, and what they would do is they would go and start the real Underground Railroad. They went all up in North Dakota, Iowa, and they would bring people on through Florida. That's how you get Jacksonville, Florida. Because Jackson was the General Jackson. His job was to find out what was going on, how these slaves is getting into Florida. But you know, Florida was called swampland. Y'all know that? It's a lot of alligators in Florida. So the Europeans didn't know how to navigate that. So what Bobcat and John Horace would do is they was taking the slaves over down there to the Seminole, you know, like the hard rock down there, the Seminole Indians, that land. He was taking them down to the Seminole. That's why them Indians were so dark skinned. You know, he was taking them down there to the Seminole Indians, and how they was doing it, they would take chickens. They put them in a little book pack or, you know, sack or whatever, and they would throw the chicken, and the alligators would run out the chicken. While they run out there, go through there. And they never knew how they was doing it, and they couldn't take a boat because, you know, the alligator was so vicious.
Right.
But John Horace killed more white people than any black man in the history, and they never found him. He died an old man.
Wow.
You know, but they don't put that in the history book. You know what I'm saying? But they'll tell us about Black Wall Street. They'll tell us about Martin Luther King. But they don't tell you the backstory of Martin Luther King was they killed him.
Right.
You know what I mean? They killed him. They don't tell you that 300 black folks died, you know, during Black Wall Street. It was destroyed. So anytime a white person, and no disrespect to white people, anytime white people promote something so heavily, you always got to look at the backstory. They ain't gonna tell you about Percy Julian, the forgotten genius. He was just as profound as Martin Luther King. You know, he had over 100 patents. You know, he invented a lot of the cures, you know, that you see for cancer and all that stuff. It was a black man named Percy Julian. Look him up on Instagram.
Percy Julian.
It's gonna say the forgotten genius. So you know what I'm saying? These are the things that, you know, we try to point out. You know, so when I say Black Wall Street, I say hip hop. You know why I say hip hop? Because Kanye West is worth $9 billion. He's worth 3 times the value of Black Wall Street. Why is we talking about a city from 1920 that GDP was 5 billion when you got Jay-Z and all these dudes worth billions of dollars? Why we not emphasizing now? Because that's called the shell game. You know, they hide the ball. You see what I'm saying? They don't want you to know that the real quality and the real power is right here, within hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's right within us. Yeah. But if they can take us and say Martin Luther King, give him a street on every corner, give him a monument and a holiday, And then we read about him, and then at the end we crying and feeling sorry for him because he got killed in Memphis. That's inappropriate behavior. You know, Dr. Anderson said inappropriate behavior. Somebody came up, if I knock your eye out, and I knock your teeth out, and I broke both your arms, and I stomp you down and kick you all in your back, and you just say, can we all just get along? You know what I'm saying? That's inappropriate behavior. You see what I'm saying? So we can't be thinking like that. We got to be wise. We got to be the kings and queens that we really are. Mm-hmm. That's why I think like a king. That's why I want it all. That's why I don't bow down to these crackers, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about this life for real, and I'm teaching everybody around me about this life.
Straight up.
Man, you know, own your own business, own your own company. You know what I'm saying? Let's be bosses.
Yeah.
Now let's quit, taking these deals that we paying 1,000,000% interest on. How we gonna win if you owe the record label 1,000,000% interest? No way you gonna pay. If you can pay 1,000,000% interest, you might as well just own your own thing. So that's what we teach them about. We waking them up. You know what I'm saying, man? We showing them better ways and brighter days.
I can tell you practice what you preach. Just throughout the interview, like with you promoting writers to write it independently. With Hip-Hop Fraternity and the people that you bring aboard, you're not taking anything from them. You allowing them to remain independent. So you pushing forth that with that independence and you preaching that kingship that we should all take on as black people, and I love it, man. I love it.
For
I
sure,
love
for
it.
sure.
I
Come
love
from the
see what
motherland,
y'all
Africa.
Yes.
Like this is our African brother. See,
Right,
this
right.
is who we were.
Yeah.
See, the first people that enslaved us was the Arabs in the 700s. You know what I'm saying? And then they enslaved the Africans, and then the Moors went out there, and we ruled from 700 until 1492 when Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand came in, and they took the Moors out.
Yeah.
For sure. Man, I definitely.
And that's why we love him.
Oh yeah, we
Yes.
love him too, man. We appreciate it for coming out, man. You're definitely a legend in our book, man. And you got so much going on that's really vital for the community and the culture, man. And we appreciate everything you're doing. We definitely gonna tap in,
Y'all for having me,
stay
bro.
tapped in, man. Yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all for making it out.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
I'm Hollywood Angel. I am the editorial manager over the HHF magazine, and I'm also one of Ken's board members.
For sure. And we got DJ Vital.
Vado.
Oh, DJ Vado, I'm a video director of the HHF, and 2022 we're here.
For sure. Any last words y'all want to say to the people, man? Any advice you want to leave us with? Man, I know you're a man of some great words, man. What's going on?
I want one of them dogs, man. You gotta go check it out.
He's pimping, man. He's pimping.
That bird cold,
That's
man.
pimping, man.
I want that yacht. We need to put HHF on
For
there.
sure.
That's
We're going to bring HHF back to whole
let me tell you, y'all
HHF.
can find me at RealPimpKen_. Or you can follow me at HHF_magazine.
For sure, man. And y'all go smash that subscribe button, hit them likes, comment, do all that, share the video, man. We got the man Pimpin, the Hip-Hop Fraternity. We good. Follow us on all your social media networks. It's your boy Wise Guy Q, the mouth of the South.
And it's your boy MD Uno, Mr. Free Game, coming with a bunch of free game.
Yes.
Hip-Hop Fraternity, Pimpin.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Shouts
having
out. Yeah, for sure. Shouts out DG, Cool TV, man. You already know. We good.
South got something to say. Hey, South got something to say. We hustle, we grinding away. Tomorrow ain't promised today. Know why we gon' shine in your face. The South got something to say. 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 Hey.